Good afternoon. I recently received a request from one of my subscribers to discuss British Israelism, and I told him I would check some of my information and get back with him on that. And looking for some source information on that issue, I came across an old booklet I had by R.B.Thieme Jr. called Anti-Semitism, and you can get this free from his ministry, R.B.Thieme Jr. Ministries, and he'd be happy to send you this free. Just give them a call, leave a link down in the message box. And this is quite a good work. This is an excellent work dealing with this subject, which is a crucial subject for any young Christian to understand that the nature of anti-Semitism. Next to the final authority of the King James Bible, there's probably no greater issue than anti-Semitism, because once a Christian gets involved in it, he's done, and God is done with him, and he's shot. His witness is shot, and that's it, because it's a satanic lie. I'm going to read here just a brief synopsis of the work. Anti-Semitism is a masterstroke of treacherous evil. Endless Jewish persecutions verify Satan-inspired antagonism toward God's elect people. History authenticates the devastating effect of such virulent bigotry. The biblical portrayal of this heinous intolerance presents a divine perspective and solution, and outlines the plan of God for the Jew throughout human history. In the unconditional covenants to Israel, God guarantees that the Jew will survive cruel treatment. That's why the issue of unconditional covenants is so crucial. God made unconditional covenants with Abraham and David, that they would get a land in the Mideast, which they will, and that his son, David's son, would sit on the throne and rule that land and the world. And in fact, that's Jesus Christ, as the son of David, will do so in the millennium kingdom. And that's unconditional. No matter what the Jew has done, nothing is effective will change that. Therefore, he condemns anti-Semitism as a contradiction to his sovereign will and purpose. No one should ever be guilty of insidious prejudice. Divine judgment and utter ruin are the ultimate destiny of individuals or nations that practice anti-Semitism in the past, present, and future. And so he discusses the history of anti-Semitism, the Christian view, or what should be our view on anti-Semitism, some of the various views. He has British Israelism in here. I won't go through that. You get the book, Protocols of the Elders of Zion, that nonsense, false teachings, anti-Semitism, British Israelism, as I said. Let's see here. Well, the nonsense of that, and the history of it, and how what a bunch of just idiocy that is, that view. Again, you can get the book, and he goes through that. Talks about, he also, by the way, in terms of the debate over what word in Isaiah 14:12, he used the word Lucifer, and so that he has that word there. That's Satan's name before he fell. So he has Lucifer there, and that's the correct word. If the Bible doesn't have the word Lucifer in it, get rid of it. It's junk. Lucifer's trying to hide who he is. So this is an excellent work on this very important subject. You can get, again, this is a work that's free, and anti-Semitism is one of the greatest evils that a Christian can get involved in. He's going against God, and in fact, that's what Matthew 25 is talking about, when they separate the goats and the sheep. The goats are anti-Semitic and attacking the Jewish people, and that's what they're going to be judged for. And it's very important to understand also that's what the issue of the mysteries come in, the mystery of the hardening of Israel, and why God has set them aside for a period of time. The issue of dispensationalism, why the church age and what we've taken over, the church, the Christian, has taken over the role that the Jew would ordinarily have, which is evangelism and the spiritual nature of being priests, because God has set the Jew aside for a time until the church age is over. That's why it's important to understand dispensationalism. And it's important to see the crucial verse that anti-Semites always reject is Romans 11:28. as concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes. This is why people, anti-Semites, always make the issue, well, the Jews, anti-gospel. Yeah, they're anti-gospel. They don't stand the gospel, and therefore they fight against it. And Paul talked about the persecution he received from the Jews, that they were persecuting them. And in fact, Paul was a persecutor of Christians before he became saved. But the fact is, what is the attitude for the Christian supposed to be towards this? Leaving it in God's hands. But as touching the election, I mean, they are still elect. They are still chosen for God, unconditional covenants. They are beloved for the Father's sake. I mean, God still loves them because of who Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and David, and Moses are. He still loves them for the Father's sake. So the Christian is supposed to keep his hands off the Jew and leave them alone. And one of the more serious aspects of anti-Semitism is trying to link it with the defense of the King James Bible. And you'll see that, for instance, Tex Mars has been involved in anti-Semitism, and Ruckman broke off all fellowship with him because of that. So you'll see some people out there, even on YouTube, trying to say they believe in the King James Bible, and then they'll be anti-Semites. And so don't be deceived by that. If someone claims to defend the King James Bible, they would certainly be pro-Jewish, because the King James Bible is very clear on what it teaches about the Jew. That, as I said in Romans 11:28, they're beloved for the Father's sake. And you don't go after someone who God has loved, and who God has said that he will bless them. He will bless those who bless them, and curse them who curse them. That's still in effect. That's still in effect. So again, this covers many various issues that you can just look at and find a lot of information in this book, a lot of historical information, dispensational truth, understanding to rightly divide, and the war of anti-Semitism. Excuse me. So, and why, for instance, the British Empire. Many British Israelites think that they're the 10 tribes, and that's why the empire grew. In fact, the opposite is true. The reason the empire grew is because of one, of the King James Bible, two, the pro-Jewish attitude of the British, and they were blessed for that. And same thing in the United States. But it's when they turned on the Jew that they lost the empire. And of course, the King James Bible, when they put up the new versions in 1881. So rejecting the King James Bible and the Jew resulted in the collapse of the British Empire, and excuse me, and the state doing it right now. So talk about Hitler's rise to power, and all these a lot of interesting historical facts in here. So, and America and anti-Semitism. So if you're Christian, you're going to see a lot of this nonsense on YouTube. And then one of the things also here, the scribe also asked me to explain the issue of, you hear that nonsense about Jesus isn't the real name of Christ, it's Yeshua. And this is other nonsense I have on my playlists. You'll find a section on the Hebrew names movement and why we use the letter J, and it just comes from the German, and this concept in Greek with a rough reading, we get H sound, and so that's where you get Jesus, and gradually just came into a J sound. That's why we use the word Jesus, and it's just a natural progression, evolution of languages. Nothing to do. So there's no magical aspect of saying, oh, Jesus is certainly not the word for Zeus. A Greek word is a name for nonsense like that. So you can see that. I have a playlist on that in the doctrinal issues, and talking about the Hebrew names movement. Whippinger has discusses that also in her work on the check what's the name of the book? Excuse me. In all that word, understanding the King James Bible mystery and history letter by letter. She talks that to some extensive way about the issue of where the words come from, and the letters and J's and these type of things. In fact, I have a mark right here, page 418. So if you want to understand where that came from, she discusses that in some detail. But don't be deceived. if Satan can't get you in one area, he's going to get you in another. And anti-Semitism will knock you out quickly from advancing in God's plan for your life. So again, I recommend this work from R.B.Thieme Ministries. And if you have any questions about anything on the subject, please feel free to PM me on that. Regarding the British, the Hebrew name nonsense, using Jewish names for Christ. Again, in all that word discusses why we use the letter J and not use the Y. Amen. Thank you.